What's up, my boy? We are in week 28. Week 28. And, we get that exercise fitness that didn't exist out of the way. Bad week. I'm spinning and everything tonight, though. I'm on it. I promise. So, no exercise to report. We are officially employed again. So, although this is laid off Chronicles, we ain't laid off. We on another contract back with the company that laid me off. They got all this started originally. So funny how that works. I would have started this Monday, but everything didn't get completed as far as onboarding. They have some new stuff in place as far as contract work goes. So finished everything on my end that I was supposed to at the time I was supposed to, and then they came with some more stuff. I had to find a W-2 from like 8 to 10 years ago. I'm like, what kind of mess is that? Fortunately, I keep up with stuff like that, so turned it in today. They told me everything is complete now, so I'm good to go. It is a Wednesday, so I'm going to get a Impossible Whopper, as we don't eat meat or whatever. Wakaza boy do karate, because I'm hungry. I ain't eating all day. It's been like a really lazy day. But yeah, so we start work next week. Really looking forward to it. And of course, like I've been saying, that'll help, just get the savings and everything where I need it to be. And primarily, focus on being more selective with the jobs that I take. The contract I had at first, it was like when I first started a business, it was like just take everything just to be able to get the portfolio, get the reviews, get the experience. Cool, got the experience, got the reviews, got the portfolio now to show my work. And I needed money too. Still looking. Now it's more, again, we just hit the 4-month mark because I started on March the 8th. So just hit the 4-month mark and a quarter of, the way into a year of the business. I do feel more comfortable and getting more comfortable, especially now, like I say, with having a job and the business not being to be all end all like everything. Then again, I can, hey, this is what I charge. This is let's really test these prices now. Not price gouging or trying to rob people, but be more competitive. Like, for example, I had a lady today. I spoke to a lady this morning. She wants a desk put together, and we were speaking, and so I told her how much I was charging, and she was like, that's per hour? And I was like, no, that's entry level for a desk. So if it's a simple desk, then that'll be the whole thing. No, my hourly rate isn't that much. And she was like, oh, okay, because the other guy I was talking to before you, he was saying that it would take about 2 to 2.5 hours, and his hourly rate is what I charge for, a desk period. So, wait a minute, he charging that? Am I not charging enough? But again, I focus on what is enough for me and my family. I'm not, comparison is the thief of joy. So if he's getting that, then great. I'll worry about that when it's time for me to get to that level in that range. I will, but I'm not there yet. I'm not charging those prices yet. But it was impressive to hear, man, people paying that. So, like I say, figure out what I really can afford to charge, what people are willing to pay, and just go from there. I know that I spoke about, because I don't know, I think in a lot of cases, and it may depend also on the clientele that you're running into. Some people, I've quoted prices, and again, some of them jump at the price. Oh, okay, that's it. You know what? I just shot myself in the foot, because I probably should have charged more than that. You know what I mean? But with some people, like I've had several instances now where people want 6, 8, literally 10 items, and they don't expect to pay more than what I charge for half of that. Like, they want all those items. Oh, I was just gonna pay like $200. To who? No, you wasn't. Absolutely not. And again, I took those lumps already, and would have 4 months ago when I first started, one, I was unemployed. I needed whatever money I could get, and a couple $100 was better than zero. So I was taking what I'm not at that level anymore. Like, nah, I know what my work is worth, especially if you order me off Thumbtack. You see what my work is worth. You see those 5-star reviews and people, you know, speaking highly of my business. You're gonna get quality work. Your stuff is gonna get put together and assembled correctly, but it's gonna cost. You know, again, I'm not. You got $500 worth of stuff. I'm not charging $1,000 to put it together, but whatever the price is to put it together, that's what it's gonna be. For a great example, a job I had this past weekend, and I get it, this isn't rocket science. A lot of the stuff comes with instructions, so if you can follow instructions, you can do it. But I do this and been doing it and still don't always follow the instructions right. But I don't mess up anything to the point where I can't undo it, unless it's like the seals in the back or something like that. I know, or even that, like I can disassemble it, but I ain't always trying to spend that time. So, for example, job I had this past Friday, because what did I have this last week? I had that job on Friday. Yeah, so I had two, I want to say 2 in this past week. Yeah, because last week we did the cookout. Cookout went well for my Brian. Very successful. The house was clean. We had a good time, man. Really good time. So he ended up getting a PS5 from his people. So like I said, I had a good time doing that. But, so I didn't do anything Wednesday. I don't remember anyway. I didn't do nothing Thursday. So Friday comes, have this job. It's an hour and a half away. We worked the price. I'm like, cool, all right. You know, it's going to be a little grip. This will be all right. And it was like for me planting seeds, because I hadn't done any work in this city. So it's like I can go down here and plant this seed, you know, leave some of my cards, and they know somebody else that need work. For the right price, I'll go wherever. I'll go to Florida if a person gonna, you know, pay me the right money. So we're communicating and setting everything up. I get down there bright and early, come in, and she like, yeah, so somebody tried to put this together for me, but I don't think they did it right. That's why I called you. Yeah, somebody, not only did they not put this together right, they done broke it. Like, I can't repair this. So it was 3 items I was supposed to be putting together, and the one they broke was the most expensive one. You know, it would be nice if the person was like, well, it's not your fault, whatever. But realistically, I don't expect that. You're not going to pay me for work I'm not doing. So I lost out on that because I can't do what they done broke. You know what I mean? And that was a learning, that was a teachable moment and a lesson learned. Communicate and check to see, has this been opened? If so, I need to see pictures, because especially, like, again, if that was in the city, you know, where I live, it would have been fine. All right, got here, whatever, but that's 3 hours of driving, and I'm missing the biggest chunk of this money I was supposed to make. Honestly, I wouldn't have came down here for those other 2 items, but I'm already here. So, lesson learned. Hey, check beforehand. Has this been opened? Has anyone tried to assemble it? These are things I need to know beforehand. But get down there and knock it out. And not only did I lose money, but it's like, especially if the company won't refund it, you lose money. Because again, you tried to get somebody to put this together that didn't know what they was doing, and not being able to do it is one thing. Breaking it is something totally different. So the most expensive item that you purchase is broke. Again, you may have to buy it a second time. I'm all for saving money, but it makes me real. Supply and demand, and there's a reason you get paid for the skills you have. I'm gonna get your stuff together right. Knock on wood. Like I said, I done did about 70 jobs. I ain't broke nothing that couldn't be fixed. You know what I mean? So you get what you get. But yeah, the lady was like, that person was charging 2.5 times what I would have charged for, if not more. And I was like, huh? So waiting to hear back from that one. I did a bed job for a friend of mine, and that was a learning experience as well. I have to stop mixing. I'm being too nice. I'm doing the opposite of what I hear a lot of people, what typically happens. You know, like, no, I'm gonna charge what I charge. Well, you know, I'm giving everybody discounts, family, friends, and people I don't know. Like, I ain't gonna charge them that. No. We're not doing this for fun. This is a business. handle it like a business. You know, people don't go to Walmart and price haggle or whatever. If it's a place that price matches, that's one thing, which I'm already price matching if you're reaching out to me via a site, because it's a bidding system. I say what I'm going to charge, another person say what they're going to charge. No, so stick to your price and set it at what was reasonable, you know. So that was a learning experience too, and don't expect from others what you would give. You know what I mean? That's what I've learned, especially from this past week, the jobs that I had. So knock those out. But yeah, I had a lady, I reached back out today to double check. She, you know, we set up last week, was supposed to be this weekend coming. I was supposed to have been doing, I think, like 8 items for her. And she was like, gave it a price, and you know, it was, you can kind of tell, like, and that's still, again, it still was a discounted price. Like, people want you to put together they whole 5-bedroom house, 2-3-bedroom apartment for $100, and you putting together. You think I'm not charging you $10 per hour? Have you lost your mind? If that's the case, you do. Cause no, I'm not doing it. But that's really like what it was. I gave a very discounted price for how many items it was. Well, I'll reach out and let you. If you do, you do. If you don't, it ain't killing me none. So, double check back today. Haven't heard nothing. So, think we won't get that one. I got a little money left in my little budget or whatever. So, we'll see. As I was saying, I'm going to Burger King, so I'm finna grab my food here. You know, we'll see. They reach back out, cool. If not, I ain't losing no sleep, baby. We okay. So, I know you lying.
It's a great day at Burger King. Where you always through. How can we help you today?
Yeah, pick up order for Emmanuel.
What's the name?
Emmanuel.
All right, baby. Pull into a parking space. We're getting it ready for you right now, okay?
Alright. They ain't got no line. Ain't nobody in there. And you still gotta pull up the weight. Can I get a cup of ice? So, you know, figuring this whole thing out. Again, I figured out that budget thing. That's the best way to go. That works for me. Just keep sliding a little bit more in, a little bit more in, a little bit more in, versus putting it all in at one whop. You know, you get more jobs that way. And just like today, it was Wednesday, I added some more money to the budget last night. Again, waiting to hear back. Kind of the same thing. The lady is a desk for her daughter. She was like, you know, I put one together before, but it was wobbly. Well, you can put a wobbly desk together, or you can let me do it, and it's gonna be sturdy. So, you know, I don't raise no hell. I don't argue with people. I let them know this is what I can do. This is what you're gonna get. Either you gonna rock with me, you gonna do it yourself, or you gonna find somebody else. I'm fine with any of those options. My feelings ain't hurt. I won't miss no meals. So that was that. But yeah, really looking forward to being back active, working or whatever, and getting my savings where I needed to be. So when we get back to this point, just having a nest egg over there, you know what I mean? Like, boom, all right, I got this over there. So if we out for this long, I got, you know, a month, 2 months worth of rent saved up, or whatever the case is, and I have this much left over here to the side. So instead of going to Uber, Lyft, and everything is off of the jobs, nah, I got $500 specifically over here for my budget or whatever, and that'll carry me through, you know, the first month that I'm not working or whatever the case is. You know what I mean? Like, that's cool. So we got that going. I actually got to talk a little bit. I hadn't talked to her in a while. I got to talk to my girl, and I'm thinking not next week, not my first week of work, but that week after, I get her in and keep her for that week, because I have my oldest sister, and they're gonna all be driving me crazy. But I work from home every day but Friday, so I get them out Monday through Friday. And we'll go from there. I go and do my one day in the office on Friday, and you know, everything will be smooth. So 28 has been a good week, man. Like I say, we did all right. Didn't break the bank or whatever. And again, that's the thing. I think the more people, the more you have in your budget, the more visible you are, the more jobs. But again, like I say, I've done this and spent $100-something, and only got one job or no job. So there's no guarantee, but that's what I'm saying. The more I have stacked up, the more I can put into the budget. All right, boom. I put $40 a day. I put $40 more. I put, $60 a day, and do it that way. And all right, we straight or whatever. We smooth. Thug it that way, and either it works or it doesn't. She didn't tell you about the cup of ice.
Huh?
She didn't tell you to bring me a cup of ice.
Oh, nah.
Right,
I got you though.
appreciate you, bro. Hey, can I get a barbecue sauce? Thank you. These ain't half bad. I should have seen some ketchup. You would think they would eat ketchup, but whatever. I ain't gonna trip. Yep, but having that money in the budget and to the side will help. So it's like, all right, cool. I got this over here. And, again, especially to get closer to the weekend, a lot of people want their stuff done on the weekend, you know what I mean? So, Wednesday, Thursday, boom, really start going in, trying to have something set up for Saturday and Sunday if I'm going to be working Saturday and Sunday. Or Friday evening. But it's been a good week, man. It's been a really good week. My bronze, they got their job with Food Line. We all got the okay and the approval the same day last Thursday. So we're waiting to hear back for when that orientation starts. And they'll have their first job, man. So, things are really looking up. Just keep going, keep grinding. Get your butt back to working out. I've been lazy. That's on me. So I'm going to spend the night and get back to working out. Be kind to yourself, my boy. Remember, all our goals we're working on are going to happen overnights, plural, with an S. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Not overnight. You too. I love you. Be kind to yourself. I'll rap with you later in 29, my boy.